Hey folks, Joe here from JCS-Charting. Welcome to another market update. What you see here is the upside-downside volume of the S&P 500. I pointed out April 17th. This is the date from where the S&P 500 kept on printing new all-time highs and the decreasing upside volume and downside volume started to pick up. And on last Friday, we got to the crossover point, and now it decides right here if the downside volume is about to flip over, and that would be a bearish signal. We are going to look at a few other charts. Let's hop into that. And another indicator which tells us something is wrong with the internals at the S&P 500 is the advanced decline line. It measures the cumulative difference between advancing and declining stock, and this one has steadily decreasing since April 17th as well. In other words, more stocks are declining than advancing stocks. In other words, there are just a few mega caps which are holding the index up. And 2 weeks ago, I talked about the Hindenburg Omen at the Nasdaq 100. This warning is still on. It's actually triggered 3 times compared to these two we had in January and in October that caused these two declines. We have the same signal on at the NYSE and at the S&P 500. It didn't trigger 3 times, only once, but that's still good enough that we could face a summer correction anytime soon. By the way, I still think we are going to run higher in May. The all-time highs are not in yet, in my opinion. And this is the S&P 500 daily chart. I was showing that broadening top for quite a while, a high, a low, a higher high, a lower low, a higher high, and that's what it's called then, the so-called BT pattern. And we still have open targets of 7.577 up to 7.836 for the 100% measured move. On Friday, we topped out at 7.517 and we declined into Friday. We had here a first closure of that fair value gap right here. That could already be support. If that doesn't hold on Monday, we should get one level lower into that fair value gap between 7.321 up to 7.273. I still assume we are going to see these targets here in May, latest by June, in my opinion. I don't think we are coming down sharply already in the second half of May. And in order to give you an idea what the S&P is still able to do, that would be another 2.5%. That below off here towards 7.8 plus would be another 6% move from Friday's close. And here we got another broadening top pattern at the Nasdaq 100 weekly chart. This pattern here is lasting a bit longer since July 2024, and here we got the low, then a higher high, a lower low, and another higher high, and that pattern triggered last year in September. And I discussed that pattern already last time, and we still have open targets of 29.876 and the 100% measured move at 32.607. And I have added another 9 count in here, and we finished the 6th candle last week, and we have another 3 possible weeks to run higher, and that would give potential for Nasdaq. And from that close on Friday, that would give us another 2.7% to hit the first target, and the other target would be somewhere around 12% from Friday's closing price. That would definitely mean a blow-off top is incoming. Look at the daily chart last week. I was talking about that 9 count, which finished on that Friday. We got a higher high, another all-time high on Monday, and then we pulled back just a little bit between the 5 and 10-day EMAs. And we ripped higher into Thursday. I talked about that RSI divergence that worked out quite nicely into Thursday. I did not short that. And well, I'm actually believing that Nasdaq is not done right here. I think we're going to see a lot of escalating around that 100% level, 29,116. Let's call it the 29,000 mark. We have higher targets of 30,823 and 31,514, or even higher if that blow off top is really coming. Consider all these little dips here, even if we dip a bit further and into the middle of next week, as buying opportunity. That's my personal opinion on that. You don't have to follow that, but as a structure looks like, this here doesn't look like the final top at all. And to give you a quick idea what JCS-Charting looks like at our Discord, this is, for instance, the hourly chart here with the GBE brokers indication. We determined here a small shoulder pattern. It has not triggered yet because it needs or it requires another touch here at that slightly rising neckline. But and if it triggers, we have like a target here, 28,647. But the more important level is 28,570 for bears. And that would be also the level if we get there by Wednesday or Thursday. Keep that level here inside. If that breaks, we run lower. If that holds, we are allowed to run much higher. If Nasdaq is done here already, keep an eye on 29,461. Okay, let's jump into the DAX H4 timeframe GBE indication. By the way, that switched from the JFD, the named, into the GBE brokers. We had a lot of trouble with that price indication last week because it was offline for almost 2 days. They told me they fixed the problem and we are good for next week. Let's hope so, because these gaps here are not future gaps. It's because that price indication was down. Let's have a look what happened. After we picked up here that min target zone 1, we kept on selling the entire week. We bounced off here a little bit. I gave you that 24,000 buying opportunity. I even wrote that on X for almost 500 points, and then we went straight precisely into trigger 2. And that rejection is not what I want to see if I'm bullish. And I was bullish, I must say. And since we rejected here at trigger 2, 24,493, and since we also lost the red trigger here on Friday evening, the most logical move is to retest the long-term trend. And this trend sits right here at the minimum target zone. We had these targets tested already after we broke here. So usually that trigger becomes irrelevant. But since we broke it on Friday evening, and since the trend is here as well, DAX really needs to defend that zone. If not, we are going lower, and I mean really lower then. So there's one chance here because we had it on our subcycle chart. I'm going to show you that right now. That black projection I had in here is still on as long as that subcycle start is holding, which is here at 23,920. So the cash market, which opens at 9 o'clock German time, needs to hold. If that breaks right here with the Monday morning, expect further selling into the March all-time highs out of last year at around 23,482. Either into the 20th or the 26th the following week. This pass here is still possible, but these lows here have to hold. 23,920 is very important for the cash, and we still have 25,260 as a potential target open, but that only works if that low is holding. Very important level here for the beginning of next week. WTI on the daily time frame, a large symmetrical triangle. That means price is contracting on a larger time frame. We have a high, a low, a lower high, a higher low, and we're still missing that third touch. I thought it's about to come here. Timing was right with that projection. Price was a bit off. That pullback was also much deeper than I anticipated. If oil is running or is triggering that pattern, we need a third touch here around $115 next week. And usually these contractions are used to build an expansion within the trend. That means usually it starts to oscillate around that upper trend line before it runs higher. Also important, 117.66. If we get a daily close above that level, it triggers actually for higher price levels at WTI. And we're jumping into my Discord, otherwise you won't believe me that these projections are actually working. This is the gold channel, the H4 thread, so the H4 time frame. Everything is here in chronological order of the time frames. And by the way, if you want to see analyzers like that, this is for advanced membership. You are welcome to join at www.jcs-charting.com. And as you can see, that projection here has been in the chart since the 9th of, actually earlier, since the 7th of May. I gave that red resistance zone. I tried shorting it, but I got stopped, I must say, after it. It kept on, pumping into that zone. Then we got a last pump here on Thursday before gold started to move. And here you see how that projection worked out perfectly. And this is the latest update. We stopped now below 4554, which is a trigger to the downside. That means we have minimum targets of 4471 up to 4495. 4419 is a bonus target. Next cycle low is due by mid next week for gold. And last chart I would like to show is the euro US dollar on the H4 time frame. For instance, this one here failed. That was my last update I gave because the price was stopping right above 1.165. And since we had that blue sequence on, I thought we are done to the downside, and we are on to hit these minimum targets of the blue sequence. But the euro US dollar decided differently. It came down in a ABC, and now the 100% ABC target would be at 1.1605. But since that red sequence here triggered for lower, we most likely run into these min targets of 1.1579, or even the bonus target at 1.1533. Both of these levels would be great long opportunities in order to run higher to hit these targets still, because they remain valid of 1.118 up to 119 up to the bonus targets 1.2010 at the euro US dollar. Yeah, that's about it for this week. I hope you enjoyed watching. Few more assets than usual, and I hopefully see you next week. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.